Unafraid show, making a little late night appearance. NFL draft recap, wrap up, reaction, because it was a big deal. Today was a very exciting draft. Ordinarily, sometimes the draft can be a snoozer, but I actually really like this Thursday night format. I actually really like this Thursday night format. And tonight we're going to be talking about the biggest draft, the best draft picks of the entire draft, the biggest mistake of the entire draft, who got a steal, who got something great out of the deal. And so what we're going to start with today is this. We are going to start with the first pick in the draft. The Cleveland Browns selected Baker Mayfield. And I'm going to tell you this. I do not believe that Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback in the draft. I don't think he's the second best quarterback in the draft. However, I believe that he was the right pick for the Cleveland Browns. The reason why he was the right pick for the Cleveland Browns is because he represents everything the city stands for. They are underdogs. They're underachievers. This is who they are. They're the dog pound. They rally around. They got a little swagger, a little attitude about them. That's what the city of Cleveland is. And that's what Baker Mayfield represents. He's going to represent them very well. I know they have Tyrod Taylor now. But the cool part about Baker Mayfield is that he'll get a chance to take over the reins from Tyrod. Tyrod will pull him out of this funk, win a couple games. Then, inevitably they'll switch over to Baker. Even if they're winning and playing well, they want to get him in, regardless whether it's this year, next year. And he represents everything the city of Cleveland wants. And that's why it was a good draft pick. Because Baker Mayfield was a walk-on at Texas Tech, walked on, transferred to Oklahoma, got the starting job, wins the Heisman. I mean, he's an underdog, just like the city of Cleveland. He matches them. That's why it was a good spot for him to land at, for him to go to, because he matches the Cleveland Browns. But I want to go backwards for a second, because when I look at all these draft picks, what do they do when they get on stage? Except for a couple of them. They give Roger Goodell this big-ass hug, this embracing, oh, man, I love you. We're buddies. We're pals hug. It just doesn't make sense to me, because these rookies, they either don't know what to do, in terms of some alternative, or they don't realize that Roger Goodell, from this point on, his whole entire job is to keep money out of your pocket. Would you give a dude a big-ass hug like that was trying to keep food off your table? Oh, but he's the commissioner of the league. Yet he works for the owners. His job is to increase league revenue and then take that league revenue and keep it away from the players and give it to and keep as much in the owners' pockets as possible. That's what Roger Goodell's deal is. That's what his job is. So why these players come up and they give him a big ass hug? I mean, they're just young and don't know any better. Because the league office is going to fine you. They are going to do everything that they can to keep money out of your pocket. So I don't understand it. But to go back, so I already talked about Baker Mayfield, how I feel about him and that draft pick. He matches the Cleveland Browns. Is he the best quarterback? Nope. No, he's not. He's not the best quarterback in the draft, because the best quarterback in the draft went to the Arizona Cardinals, and that was Josh Rosen at number 10. And did you hear what he said? He said there was 9 mistakes in front of me. I love that. I love that. You like a guy that gets a little chip on his shoulder from being being slighted. Hey, I love it. I love it. And I think he's going to be happy that he did not go to a place who had the worst draft pick of the entire night. But number 2, everybody was curious about what the Giants were going to do at number 2. They picked up Saquon Barkley. Fantastic pick. And the best part about that is he is in the running back room with Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart, is he the best running back in the league? No, but he's a pro. He's a veteran, shows up on time, knows how to work, knows how to study, knows how to pass protect, and that's what you want to lead your young players. That's what you want. The Jets drafted Sam Darnold from USC at number 3. I'm not mad at this. I'm not. Because he's going to get a chance to sit behind Josh McCown, who's a pro's pro, show him how to actually take care of the football, and show him how to be a professional quarterback. Sam Darnold, he needed another year at USC. I said it, but his upside is huge. He can make plays on the run, make all these throws. He just has to learn how to take care of the football. So I like the pick for the Jets because he's got a mentor there. Denzel Ward, Ohio State. Okay, yeah, we'll see how Cleveland does with that pick at quarterback. I don't know why they passed up Bradley Chubb. Don't know why. Because look at what Jacksonville has been able to do with their defensive line. When I was there, what they're able to do now. When you have teams that have great defensive lines, they play well. I mean, and you guys send in to me who you think the best NFL draft picks were. Who do you think the best NFL draft picks were? And who do you think were the worst? That's a good question for you, because I believe as we go down the list, you had the Broncos take Bradley Chubb. Thank God for Broncos fans that John Elway decided to take Bradley Chubb instead of Josh Allen. Do you realize how horrendous of a mistake that would have made? Horrendous. Because now you have former Defensive Player of the Year coupled with another really good pass rusher, Bradley Chubb. Come on, man. That's a good move. Quentin Nelson went to the Colts after that. But I'm going to tell you this. Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills traded up to number 7 to pick Josh Allen. And I'm going to tell you honestly, that is by far and away the worst pick in the NFL draft this year. Not going to sugarcoat it, not going to act like it's anything other than what it is. It is the worst pick. The worst pick, the single worst pick. Because, first of all, you're either going to be waiting 2 years on Josh Allen to materialize into something, or he's going to turn into nothing, which is most likely because I posted his high school accuracy, his junior college pro accuracy. College accuracy, and things do not get better like that in the NFL. They just don't. Like if you're an inaccurate passer in college, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, it is. I would agree, Fred. It is. He's Blaine Gabbert. He is Jeff George. He's all these guys who are supposedly have big arm quarterbacks. And my question to you is this: when is the last time the quarterback, some of the best quarterbacks in the league, top 5 quarterbacks, had the biggest arm? I mean, come on. Like, so the guy can throw a BB through his ball is weatherproof. It doesn't matter if he's throwing it to the defense. And the Buffalo Bills, like I tweeted earlier, have just assured themselves that they will be looking for a new head coach and a new general manager in a couple years. They definitely will. Absolutely. Somebody said, I think the Saints own that. The next team up. Oh, my God. I think the steal of the draft is the Chicago Bears getting Roquan Smith. By far the steal of the draft. The linebacker out of Georgia. When you watched him in the college football semifinals against Oklahoma, you saw him against Alabama. This dude's a one-man wrecking crew. And I love that pick. I love that pick. Because I'm going to tell you, he reminds me of like some of the great linebackers. Especially, oh my God, I can't remember his name. The kid that was in San Francisco that came out of Ole Miss. Tackling machine. Like, that's what you get with Roquan Smith. And he's super physical. That's one of the things I'm not so sold on about the kid, Tremaine Edmonds. The linebacker Tremaine Edmonds out of Virginia Tech. He's a pillow fighter. Like, he tackles people. He doesn't really hit people. And in the NFL, like, you want your inside linebackers to be hitting people. And he doesn't hit enough people for me to be sold on his success. Yeah, he can run. Yeah, he can move. But I like a guy who is more physical at the inside linebacker position in particular. Like, you just need that physicality. You need that physicality. Next pickup. Oh my God. And just so you guys know, I cannot wait to get to the last pick in the draft because people have been blowing up my timeline. Actually, I'll talk about it now. I'll go down to the last pick of the first round of the draft, which is Lamar Jackson. Went to the Baltimore Ravens. Absolute steal by the Baltimore Ravens. Because I'm going to tell you this. Joe Flacco is an average to below average quarterback. George, did you say that? I've been screaming it since day one that Joe Flacco is not elite. I've been screaming it from the mountaintops ever since he won the Super Bowl. They won in spite of him, not because of him. Yeah, but he played well. Yeah, he did. But a broke clock is right twice a day too. He had a great day during a great time. Come on, man. Like, nothing about what Joe Flacco has done since he has won the Super Bowl has been above average. Like, nothing. I don't even think he's thrown over 20 touchdown passes, but like once. Come on, man. Come on. Like, nobody believes that. Another like high big name pick was Derwin James, coming out of Florida State, the safety out of Florida State. Went to the San Diego Chargers. And Derwin James, whole lot of hype his senior year, his junior year at Florida State, coming into the year. Everybody's like, man, this dude is going to be the truth. This dude is going to be the man. Like, he's going to be a top 10 pick. And I did not see, honestly, I just did not see that out of him this last season. I thought his ceiling showed a little bit lower because, like, I thought his ceiling, his perceived ceiling is lower now than we thought it was. Do I think he still has a chance to be super successful? Yes. I mean, the kid is physically talented. He's got great ball instincts. He can return kicks. He can add a lot of value, but I'm not so sure that he's he's not Eric. Like, he's not Reed. He's not Sean Taylor. He's not that guy. Like, he can be a really good safety, but I don't think that he is, from what we've seen the last year. I know he's coming off a knee injury and all that, but it just didn't look as fantastic as you would have thought or you would have liked to see. Another pick that I just felt like probably a couple of the most solid picks of the day, most solid picks of this entire draft had to be at number 11. You have Minkah Fitzpatrick. Solid pick. I mean, just absolute solid pick. Like, there's no way you're going to get anything terrible out of him. Because the way I look at drafting players is their floor. But I'll talk about that in a second. So, Roquan Smith to the Bears from Georgia. Minkah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama went to the Dolphins. Vita Vea went to Tampa Bay. Loved that. Absolutely love that pick. I think it's super solid. I like Rashaan Evans to the Titans. Thought that was a good, solid pick. and the kid DJ Moore. I liked him for the Carolina Panthers. Thought he was really good too. Loved it. Those are the picks that I thought were the most solid. Like, those are the picks that I thought were the absolute most solid. And the picks that I think are kind of, well, I'll go back because I draft based upon a floor. Like, a lot of people want to draft based upon a player's ceilings. No, Joshua Jackson did not get drafted in round 1. A lot of people draft, or they look at players based upon their ceiling. Oh, how great can this guy be? How great can this guy be? And that is the complete wrong way to draft players. That's why the Patriots don't miss with their picks. It's because they draft based upon my model, which is you draft a player based upon their floor. Like, what is the worst that I'm going to get? You want to draft a player based upon what the worst thing that can possibly happen is. Not what the best thing that can possibly happen is, but what's the worst possible thing that you get out of this kid? Is the worst thing that you get a really good, solid starter, 5-6 years, may make a Pro Bowl? Like, that's the type of floor that you want to draft a player at. You don't want to draft a player that, you know, his like a Josh Allen. Okay, yeah, his upside in with the early round pick, especially if you have to trade for it. You don't want to draft on upside there, because the downside of Josh Allen is that he never really plays and he sucks. I mean, that's the downside of it. When you look at the downside of Josh Rosen, you get Josh McCown. That's the downside of Josh Rosen. It's Josh McCown. You look at the downside of you know, some of these other guys. You have to look at the floor to know whether you should draft guys or not. As the rounds get later, you can draft based upon ceiling. But you got to draft based upon floor in your first 2 rounds for sure. What's the worst thing that you're possibly going to get out of this kid? That's the way you have to draft. That's how successful teams draft. Somebody asked, how do you feel about the Daron Payne pick for the Redskins? I like the Daron Payne pick. The kid is disruptive. I do have a question sometimes, because some of these Alabama guys, the Alabama guys that come out are either feast or famine. They're either products of the Alabama system who benefited from being around other great players to get one-on-one blocks and, you know, look a lot better. And that's where I kind of am with Daron Payne. I think he's got a shot, but at the same time, like, you know, he could be like a Cody that went to the Baltimore Ravens. Like, he's got a shot, but there's also a chance he could get a little bit lazy too. I do see that potential in Daron Payne. I do. Sad to say it, but, you know, that's the truth. Because you root for these guys to succeed, but you have to be vigilant and honest about this. Some people were, okay, I'll read some of the comments. There's a lot of people who really love Joe Flacco. I just find it very interesting. They think the dude is fantastic, and I'm just not with it. So I'm not even going to go there. Another pick I love, though, was the Cowboys picking up Leighton Vander Esch out of Boise State. Loved that. Loved it. Linebacker. The Cowboys need so much help at the linebacker position. They need dynamic physicality and people who can play in space. They needed a good linebacker, and that's what they got. A solid dude, anchor of Boise State's defense. Kid was dynamic. And that's what they need. Because last year, what did the Cowboys do when Sean Lee was out? Absolutely nothing. Their defense was hot garbage. Besides DeMarcus Lawrence. Hot garbage besides him. So that was a great move for the Cowboys. I love that as well. Oh my God. And I almost forgot the guy that I am so stoked about in this draft is Hayden Hurst, the tight end that the Baltimore Ravens drafted. Phenomenal pick, because when you're drafting tight ends, it's a lot of people who want to draft the Eric Ebrons and some of these guys. Yeah, they can run. They look great in skirts. Like that's what they call it when you're just playing. When you don't have actual gear on, they're like, oh, you're playing in shorts and a t-shirt. They call them skirts, or the underwear Olympics. But this guy, Hayden Hurst, he's a true tight end. Jason Witten, Gronkowski, guys who are fantastic in the pass game, but are also very willing blockers. Like they're team guys. They're not going to big league you. I'm not a blocker. I don't block. I just catch touchdowns. That don't work, man. That does not work, and that flames out super quick. Flames out super, super quick. I did have a couple questions in the draft, though, that I was confused about. What is up with the Minnesota Vikings taking another cornerback? Like, don't they have enough cornerbacks already? I mean, they already got Xavier Rhodes and Trey Waynes. They already got that. So they must not have any intention on picking up that fifth-year option on Trey Waynes, because that's the only reason why you draft Mike Hughes here out of Central Florida. He's a phenomenal player. Think he's going to be good. But how many cornerbacks can be on the field at the same time, especially when you have really good linebackers already like Minnesota does? So to put another corner on the field, you got to take a linebacker off the field. Don't know about that. Another thing that was super confusing, though, was the Patriots drafting Sonny Michel. I just didn't understand it, because that's very unpatriot-like. That's just not what they do. Like, it's just not what they do. Like, they don't draft, skill position, but running backs, wide receivers, pretty much any of that in the first round. They normally pick them up in free agency, do this, do that, kind of pick up some like fringe character guys looking for a second chance, first home, all that. I'm telling you, like, it felt very weird. And it seems like the Patriots are all in on winning right now and less concerned about building for the future. We shall see, though. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss any picks? Did I miss anybody? If you guys have any questions, send them in now. I will get to them before I hop off. Send them in. I'll get to them. This is just a little light reaction show. We'll hit it even harder tomorrow. Yeah. So if you have them, send them in. All right. Guess not. Well, peace out. We'll catch you guys tomorrow on an Unafraid show. We will be on Dash Radio tomorrow. So make sure that you join in 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time, 6 to 8 Eastern time. And if you're Mountain time, you got to figure it out in between, man. You got to be able to tell them timetables, those time zones, and figure out where you're at on Dash Radio, dashradio.com/dash talk, or download the Dash Radio app and go to Dash Talk, and you'll be able to catch us there tomorrow, breaking all this down and a bunch of other things that are just absolutely fun and amazing. Peace out. Catch you guys tomorrow.